Minister, this question obviously is about the numbers and the activities of our Defence Forces personnel who remain in Afghanistan, given that they remain there after the exodus of the British troops and large amounts of the American troops, and the present and continuing destabilisation and insecurity that exists there. I'm particularly concerned in light of the prospect of the extension of the NATO mission in that area, and how our Defence Forces personnel feed into that or
Thank you, Minister.
Yeah. On the 9th of December 2014, the Government approved the participation of 7 members of the Defence Forces in the new NATO-led Resolute Support mission in Afghanistan, which commenced on the 1st of January 2015. Following the withdrawal of the International Security Assistance Force, or ISAF as most people will know it, mission from Afghanistan. Resolute Support Mission is a non-combat training and advisory mission. It is designed to support and develop the capacity of the Afghan National Defence Forces to ensure the security of the Afghan population and its national government institutions following the withdrawal of the ISAF mission. The United Nations Security Council welcomed the Resolute Support Mission with the unanimous adoption on the 12th of December 2014 of Resolution 2189. This resolution underscores the importance of continued international support for the stability of Afghanistan. 7 Defence Force personnel are deployed to the mission and are based in the mission headquarters in Kabul. These personnel are employed in training and advisory roles in operations, training and support appointments. As I say, this is not a combat mission. The work being carried out by the Defence Force personnel represents an important, if relatively small, contribution to the overall mission. The Defence Forces continue to monitor the security situation in Afghanistan, and Irish participation with the Resolute Support Mission is subject to ongoing review. Any decision in relation to continued participation in the mission beyond December 2015 will be taken in the context of the situation pertaining at the time, and will be subject, of course, to government approval.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy Clare Daly.
I'd like to take it from the Minister's response that the 7 people who are there will remain there until the end of this year. And while the Minister says that they're there to bring stability and support for Afghanistan, can I put it back to the Minister, if that's their goal, it's been an abysmal failure, given the fact that they've only just begun. Well, let's look at why they're there. When 13 years ago the Bush administration went into Afghanistan supposedly to crush al-Qaeda and drive out the Taliban, later we were told that the exercise was to eradicate poppy growing and to emancipate women. Well, you know, the statistics show for themselves the loss of hundreds of British troops, thousands of Americans and tens of thousands of Afghanis have developed a Taliban which is not weaker than it was in 2001. In fact, it has morphed into ISIS. Last year there was the most bountiful crop of poppies in the history of Afghanistan, and the rights of women are considerably regressed than they were previously.
Thank you, Deputy.
$100 billion spent on a country that is still one of the poorest, least developed and most corrupt countries in the world. Now, how in God's name could anybody call that a success or want Ireland to have any part in it?
Thank you. Minister.
Sir, we're not talking about ISAF. That's the whole point. We're moving on from that. That mission is no longer there, Deputy, the one that you're talking about. What we're talking about now is a non-combat support mission to help governance and security, primarily being provided by local populations in Afghanistan. That's what's being supported. What we're supporting is something that was unanimously supported by the UN Security Council. And we are providing 7 people who have a specific training role there and who are more than welcome, both locally in Kabul and by the UN. Lots and lots of other countries are also participating in that Resolute Support Mission. I don't have the exact figure, but it's I think more than 20. So this is about a non-combat, non-military assistance program around helping to build domestic capacity in a country that has been torn apart and is trying to put itself back together over time.
Thank you, Minister.
I am happy that Ireland is playing a small but real and significant role in those efforts.
Thank you, Deputy Clare Daly.
I mean, the Minister says this is moving on from ISIF. If you like, having wreaked havoc and destroyed a country now, you expect the same people to be involved in rebuilding it. It just doesn't make any sense at all. The Minister talks about helping governance and security and so on. Is it not the case, Minister, that 7 people, and they may be incredibly able, I don't doubt their abilities or their intentions at all, but really what can they do? And is this not about Ireland playing the role of being a complicit and obliging follower of the United States? I mean, it has been said that it was not maybe a coincidence that Ireland's involvement in this linked in with our re-emergence onto the American market in terms of beef, for example. And is it the case that we are getting rewarded, if you like, for showing our compliance? Because the reality is that 7 people can't play that role, and 7 people are not going to undo the devastation and destruction of 13 years of rape and pillage and instability in that country.
Thank you.
No matter how good they are.
Minister, to conclude.
Deputy, with respect, and I think you know it, this has nothing to do with beef access into the US market. And I mean, what this is a conscious decision that Ireland has made to try and play a constructive role in rebuilding a country that needs help, quite frankly, and is getting help from lots of countries in a non-combat mission now to try and put itself back together. We have a specific expertise in a number of areas that is recognised internationally, in particular around counter-IED training, which is a big problem in Afghanistan after all of the conflict that's happened there. There are explosives everywhere. And we have a specific expertise in that that's recognised from a peacekeeping point of view and also from a training point of view. And I think we are offering valuable support, even if it is only 7 people, to that overall Resolute support mission.
Thank you.
And as I say, you know, this isn't just me saying that this is the right thing to do. The UN also says it. And so, you know, the international community has accepted that Resolute support makes sense. They want to see it working. And Ireland, as I say, is part of it for now. We will obviously keep it under review. And we'll make a decision at the end of the year as to whether we'll maintain a presence.
Thank you. I have to go on to the next question, Deputy.